no, just as far as yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, might as well.
It's all good.
Might as well get it rolling. But yeah, man, no, I'm just saying it's dope to be able to be fortunate to have like go through these experiences and like hopefully one can continue too, right? Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Like we have the ability to do these things, so why not do these things? It takes time and money for like anything takes time and money really in this society, but like all you got to do is just put in both of those things and have the people who are willing to, you know, help you along with these things, like putting on shows or traveling or whatever have you, wherever you want to go with that. It just literally takes the time and money to plan it and go from there. One's a bit more harder than the other. I will give it that. The traveling is a lot easier in comparison. Like you just got to pick a destination and just get there basically. This is all about promotion and shit like that. That's a whole other ball game.
Yeah, it's like putting in that groundwork, like that footwork, being out and about, like whether it's putting posters up around the city, whether it's making sure you have like an online presence so that people know what's going on. But it's dope that I'm glad that you're doing that in that certain context because even like me on like the artist side of the game, the 1-2 shows that I've done or whatever, it's kind of similar where you have to, you got to be out and about on foot, just running around, making sure things is right, people are engaged, things like that, right? And it makes you have a different appreciation for it. So when your show it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a success. And when it is a success, yeah, bro, you're going to look back and be like, man, I was out here tripping, but I'm glad that these things are going smooth and you know what I mean? You're going to keep going, man. So it's good though. It's a good experience to have, you know, build it.
I'm right now just focused on getting this first one like off and going and sort of thing and make it like worthwhile for everybody who's involved in it. Like me, I'm just the guy who's trying to help put it on. Like it's all for my boys in No Ring North and all like them busting their ass literally and figuratively, like to get up here and then
on the show,
beat the shit out of each other in front of people that like have no clue what's about they're about to see. But like honestly, man, like that's where I'm hoping, that's where I'm wanting it to be, like worth it, like right there, like everyone's happy with it, everyone goes off like that was a great show, they feel happy about they came up here and it wasn't like a waste of time for them or anything like that. That's all I want out of this.
No, man.
Really, this is all about, goes back to what I had, like one of my first few videos on this channel was all about like me hiking and whatnot, and that really is all there is to do here at times. Like there's not much to do here. Like there's like bars and whatnot, and like you can go to sit in the library and do all those things. But like in terms of like having your own fun here and doing things your own way, you have to make it yourself. And that's where hiking comes in. That's where like putting the show comes in. It's all about making your own fun, really. It's something growing up around here, and especially growing up in the country, you have to learn really quick, like to make your own fun, because otherwise you're just going to be bored out of your skull, or you're just going to be sitting watching, you're going to just be sitting watching TV all the time, or just do nothing. Basically, you have to make your own fun. That's the only way you'll stay sane, especially at this age now, where it's like, it's all work, no play, makes Jack a dull boy. Like literally, it's just all grind at sometimes. Like even when I was working, that's all it felt like. It was just like all grind. And what are we going to do for fun? Well, let's go to the bar. Let's go do this. It's like, there's so much more we could be doing with our time. And I don't know, this is just all part of it. It's just me trying to make my own fun, for not just for myself, but hopefully for some of the people around me.
And that's going to be, I believe it's going to be a dope experience. You guys are choosing to assist one another and make some like work for something that's bigger than yourself. That in itself
uplift.
Yeah, like it's a good thing. Yeah, but even in the term of uplift, it's like, because some people can be doing it with ulterior motives, and technically, yes, you're still uplifting your buddies, but it's like, nah, bro, well, I'm trying to make a name for myself or whatever, so can have their ulterior motives. So if you're uplifting in like the most genuine sense of the word, then that's the most beautiful thing, right? Helping one another get to a common goal, but at the same time, you're trying to shed light. Like some people think that it's like a chore or something negative to assist a friend, or like potentially like have their business or their opportunity or their show grow or help them. And it's like, it costs us no money, and it rewards us so largely if our friends, if somebody who your friend didn't know wants to rock with him, that's an awesome thing, because now you just made a connection, right? Versus being like, nah, I'm not trying to assist. And even if you don't have something large to gain from it, bro, it's like uplifting in the most genuine sense of the word is like something that I feel like everybody in this world needs. A lot of people think they can do things alone, but nah, bro. You need some people who like appreciate your efforts and have no fear in helping you, you know, push forward.
That's why I titled it like I titled it, man. That's why my channel is what it is. It's not a gimmick. It's not just a name. It's how I be. Like, it really is. Like, I just want to see like the people I bring on here, like the people like us, like anybody I'm like friends with that are doing things out there, like whether it be artistically, whether it be in like the business world, whatever. I just want to see them do good. And if it means that if this helps them do that, then like I succeeded in my goals. What I set out with this thing was just to uplift not only myself, like mentally and emotionally and spiritually by doing this stuff and like connecting with people, but helping other people get to the next level. If this is what needed them to get to the next level, that's all it is. That's all it ever has been. There's no money involved in this. Like that's never been like, if that ever became the case, that's a different story. But right now, this is all just, like I said, it's just all about getting people, like if I can get people to that next level, cool. If not, well, we tried.
Yeah, and that's the way you got to look at it, you know, because even in context, it's like we can say, like, if money's the motivation, like I'm learning more and more, like if I want to try to like, oh, I want to do this because I know if I do this, it'll make me more money. But it's like, at this point, I'm genuinely thinking about time, like, which is kind of why, like, a little before we started even rolling, like, just talking about like how, like, I don't know, man, like looking back at things and being like, oh shoot, man, I had an amazing time, or looking forward and saying, yo, man, I'm gonna take this time off work and plan a vacation and have the most awesome time ever. Bro, we gotta appreciate that process in itself, and not try to always trade things for money, because if you're having an amazing experience with someone, or you're just having a dope conversation with somebody, like, yo, I can always do this because it's just a dope, it makes me feel, when I leave, I do feel uplifted, or when I leave, like, I felt like I took something away from the conversation or whatever. That's what I would hope that like somebody would get from an exchange with me, because it's like, yeah, man, like the whole time thing, like it's so precious, right? So you don't want to ever quote unquote waste it, opposed to like, if you choose to sit on your couch all day, that's you choosing to, versus wasting it doing something that like to impress somebody else, and then it turns out that they didn't even really care and you quote unquote wasted time. It's just, you got to enjoy yourself overall, and if it's going to be a path of uplifting, or you're going to be on a journey of uplifting, I just hope that people do it with a clear heart, and just, they're not out here on no bullshit, and they just like, okay, let's actually make people win, and then hopefully the world gets better in small increments, so to speak, right?
There was a man who said it. If the world would, I'm trying to remember the quote now. It was such a good quote. It was something about basically the world would be like a great place, and we'd be able to get things changed if no one took credit for things, basically. Like, if we weren't seeking that, like, I did this, this was me who did this. Like, Jonas Salk is a perfect example of that. Like, he made that, like, for insulin, right? He made insulin and he didn't patent, like, he didn't like charge anything for the patent on it. Like, he famously said, would you patent the sun? Like, it's just people like that who just, it's not about like money, it's about the common good. It's about like doing like the best for everyone else out there. Now, that's just, and money is just the way it is right now. Like, people put that above everything else, and to you and I, we've always said it's just a means to the end for us. Like, it's just a means for us to be able to go off and be able to travel, to be able to do the things we want to do. And if it was just to make money, then we're not living our full lives. We're only just living for this, and we're sacrificing our time on this planet for just this, and not enjoying this or anything it can bring us.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't know. It's the idea of how we, unfortunately in this society we have to kind of trade time for money, or we have to. Sometimes people have to look at it or glorify it as more than a means to an end. It's unfortunate because it's like, I get it. We all have our, like, some people, like, they're struggling in this society where it's like, oh, I don't have enough money to do this, or I don't have enough money to do that. And then other people, they have like so much money where they couldn't really spend it if they got to live 4 or 5 times. And it's like, it's just, I don't know. There's just a strange, weird relationship we have with it, because it's like, so it's like embedded, it's almost like embedded in our DNA, where it's like when you get to a certain age, it's like a timer or something starts, and it's like, oh, I'm an adult now, I got to get this money. And then it's like you're quote unquote in said rat race, or in like the hamster wheel of work, because you know you can't not work. I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to get to a point where, and unfortunately, if that means I have to get all types of money or whatever to get to the set point, but I'm trying to get to a point, bro, where it's like I just have quote unquote time. If I wake up and say, hey, I want to go walk in the park with my dog, or hey, I want to go and fly to wherever, and you can just do that shit. Like, I'm trying to get to that point, because it seems like time's the only thing we can't get back, right? So you got to try to experience that the best way possible, or in my opinion, or enjoy yourself in the most, like, whether it might seem selfish, or like the most whatever way possible, where you're not really focused on anyone else or how society's going to view you if you do it. Obviously, if you're not harming people, that's the main thing. That's the whole point. But I mean, come on, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just the way I'm looking at things now, bro. A little as I get a little older, you know.
Yeah, I feel you. Like, it's like I said, like, why have all that money if you're not going to like enjoy it, or like just like use it to do good things or to do cool things? Like, I don't know. I always thought, like, well, if I had this money, I could, pay off this for some other people, or I could do this to help out this other people. It wasn't like, oh, so I can, buy a fucking race car, or buy a soccer team, or whatever the fuck, like, go to the moon on my own private friggin' rocket. Like, it wasn't nothing like that. I never had ideas like that. It was always like, well, how can I use this to help not only like me, set me up for like, I don't have to worry about working ever again, and my family as well too, but everyone else at large. Jesus, freaking cats. But like, that was it. Like, it was never like, I don't know. It's just how I've always been. Like, I've just never wanted to like stack it up to the roof to just see it stacked to the roof and be like, I've got all this money. It's just like, I'd rather have this money. I'd rather have the memories, and instead of like, oh, I forgot where I spent that $200, instead of, no, I spent that $200 here last year, and this is what we did, sort of thing. That's how I've always looked at, like, especially when it comes to like spending monies on like concerts or things like that. It's like, you can get that money back eventually, hopefully, if you do anything, but you'll never be able to get that memory back.
Yeah, man, 100%. Those experiences, and that's where it's like, yeah, that trade-off where, yeah, like, you're spending money to go to an amazing place for 2 weeks or whatever. So you're trading that money for quote unquote time in that way. And that is what it is. Like, I appreciate those transactions because, yeah, like you just said, you can never get those experiences or those memories back. And that's the whole beautiful part of it. But unfortunately, on the reverse, where you have to trade your time for the money as far as the work side of the game, yeah, man, it's like, it's almost like one has to try to devise a plan to get to those multiple, like, unfortunately in this society, those multiple streams of income where you got to get to, where it's like, you're sleeping and you're making money. Yeah, bro. You got to like perfect those types of things, it seems, as far as if you want to have the type of life where you have quote unquote time versus, like you were saying a little earlier, feeling like even when you're at work, it's like as if you're work, and you never ever get to play or whatever. And it does make us dull boys and dull girls in that regard, right? It's terrible.
Like, I know people who just work all the time and they don't enjoy their time off or enjoy anything off. And I was that person for a while, man. It's fucking miserable. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like you literally have to be able to enjoy your time off. You have to ration how to figure out like to enjoy your time off, like especially if you're like an early morning job or whatever like that. But like it's something I wish I hadn't known at that time that I know now. But once again, like you always say, trust the process. But like now I know it now, it'd be different going like forward sort of thing. But like it's just a matter of using if you do have a job like that and you do like it is all about like working and making that money, then like enjoy the time you have, like that you aren't there. And even if you do have to be there, try and do the best you can to enjoy it if you can. Like, it's some days are easier than others with that. But like at the end of the day, you just have to enjoy like the time you have to yourself, like the time off, basically the time like that you have, that you don't have to report to this place. You have to do this at this time for this person. Like you said, just to have time.
Yeah. And that's, I guess that's the goal, like preserving it as much as you can and making sure like you're experiencing what you want to within that, like with the time you have. It might sound cliche in that regard where it's like, oh, yo, man, you know, time is money and all that other, but we genuinely, I don't think we understand, like we grasp it as much as we're supposed to, because yeah, bro, even if it's a matter of like just wanting to go out and get a coffee with your girl or whatever, go out and have like a little small gesture, you know what I mean, where you can just share a little moment for a second. If it was cold out and you went and got went to skate to the skating rink with your girl for like a little 30 minutes or whatever, right? Like those little experiences, like where people think like you always have to fly, we gotta fly and skate on the English Canal or whatever, or just as far as just trying to be all extravagant with it. It's like, nah, bro, you can do things on a smaller scale and still get the experience that you need. Like, but it's like, yeah, I'm just saying we got to try our best to use our time the best way possible, man. These people.
I'll give you an example. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Sorry. The example, it was my girl and I's our first year anniversary on Saturday. We managed to get a room at a hotel, literally like a couple kilometers down the road from here. It's not even like out of town or anything like that. But her friend works there. He managed to get it for us like cheap and whatnot. So that's all we did. We went to where she works to have dinner and played pool for a bit. And then we went back to the hotel and then we just chilled out in the hotel for the night, basically. That was it. Like, and then got up, had breakfast at the very, very nice restaurant in the hotel. And then that was it. Like nothing crazy, nothing like went out and bought like a $700 bottle of wine, blah. No, literally just went out and just didn't even leave town, just went down the road and stayed somewhere else for overnight. That was it. That's all we needed to do. And it was just because we just wanted to be together and just wanted to be like with each other for that time. That's it. Like, that's all that mattered to us. It didn't matter about like, oh, we need to have all this to just show it on Instagram for us to be like, oh, this is what we did for, none of that shit matters. It's all, like you said, spending time with that person, enjoying those little moments, whatever it is. And this was what we wanted to do. And this is how we did it.
Yeah, man. That's dope, man. That's what it is. Like just trying to understand that enjoying yourself the way you want to, celebrating those little wins, making those little moments, like making time for those moments, not always overworking yourself, being real with yourself and being like, yo, if I want to do this and hang out with this person, I'm gonna go do that and see what's up. Versus, nah, bro, is that person worth my time or da-da-da-da. It's like, okay, if you experience something and you don't really like it, you don't have to hang out again, but try not to like stop your blessings, so to speak, or stop your good opportunities or good moments, so to speak. You know what I mean? Just because of the way somebody else might view it, or no, enjoy your time how you want to. That's all we really have. Whether you're in a position where you're like, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a this, I'm a that, I work here, I'm a CEO. Bro, your time is really all you have, no matter how much money you have. So if you do have some money, enjoy yourself. If you don't, yes, try to work and get some more, but still enjoy yourself while you're in the process, man. That's all we can really do. Like,
there's always something to enjoy, no matter like where you are, like what station you are in life. There's something to enjoy, even if you're flat broke and like trying to make things like trying to make ends meet, there's still moments in all that you'll be able to find some pieces of happiness, slivers of happiness, moments of happiness.
Right. Yeah, man. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, yeah. I hope you guys.
Same here, man.
Yeah, to the people listening, I hope that. Yeah, man. Like, it doesn't sound like a broken record or whatever, but it's just like, yeah. I want you to enjoy life, just like myself. I can only do my best to enjoy life. Trying not to overstress things, not overthinking things. Yo, bro, just taking it as it comes, being proactive instead of reactive, and just trusting the process, understanding if I'm putting in work to do something or to achieve a goal, I should say, that I'm going to achieve that goal, and I got to do this all with a smile and just make sure I'm happy as hell while I'm doing this type of stuff. Because man, that's all we really have. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, G.
That's gospel right there. I can't say anything better than that.
But yeah, okay. Well, to the people listening, my name is Graham.
I'm Trent.
And this is another episode of Ultra Fly Talk, and we appreciate you rocking with us. You know what I mean? We might not be all the biggest people in the world or whatever, but we're two people who just share our opinion and share our perspective because we think it can help somebody. Yo, man, it's all love. Thanks for rocking with us.